Hello, Pools of Tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Pools of Darkness, with me, BlueAnkylo. So, our last episode, or sort of half of a first episode, I realized we went way over the time limit, and I sort of turned it into a bit of an introduction. Anyway, we explored Phlan and introduced our 6 characters, and what else did we do? We talked about magic spells and all that, so we're not going to spend really that much time getting started today. So maybe we'll call this the real first episode, and we'll just sort of get to the game. I did, as I said before, go through and memorize a variety of spells for people. Oops, this is the wrong one. I need to go to cast to show you what we've memorized. It takes a lot of hours of game time to actually memorize them all, and it takes a lot of minutes of me trying to work things out to decide what we want. But you can see what we've memorized for Shinga here. These are the general... I felt like they'd be the most useful. We can change it up as we run into different kinds of enemies, obviously. This is Spella's collection. Some of these are Druid, and some of them are Mage, and some of them are just Cleric. So that gives you a bit of an idea what I kind of prioritized. Because he only has Cleric spells, I wanted to give him a couple damaging Cleric spells. If you're a Cleric and a Mage, though, I often would opt out to not get Flame Strike and Blade Barrier, because then you'll have Fireballs, for instance. But, so, like, a lot of these are, like, duplicates, so, like, Mages can get this spell and Clerics, but it's a Mage level 3 spell for Protection from Evil, so, that's a very valuable slot. It's got really good Mage spells, whereas 4th level Cleric, it's not so bad, we can pick up. So some of them, I, like, picked that one. I think there's a Dispel Magic for Mage as well, but it's probably level 3 as well, so, you know, sometimes it's better to use the Cleric version of things. Pixel, I tried to make him kind of a fighter debuffer a little bit more, so some of the changes are, I mean, I'm really tempted to just give everyone like 5 fireballs, but, you know, I try to give people some options, is what I'm trying to say. One of my Let's Playing guidelines is I try to show off a variety of spells rather than just trusty old fireballs and magic missiles, which are kind of your go-to, but lots of other stuff has some value, and they're just more difficult to use properly. So yeah, you got good old Delayed Blast. By the way, I didn't mention these two. They're actually not in the manual, and maybe we shouldn't even have learned them yet, because maybe you only learn them in this game. But I want to test them out to see exactly what they do. I'm not even 100% sure. So at some point, I'll try to see how these work, because I'm not familiar with them. They're not in any of the manuals. Christiana has a lot of spells because fighter and mage at the same time. So, a lot of options. You know, someone needs to charm the snakes, right? And I try to get a good variety again, you know. The spells I plan on casting a lot, I try to make sure I've got multiples of. Not too many people have haste because I don't use it very regularly. It's really strong, but because it adds a year of age, I try not to use it, and so instead we'll memorize a lot of other spells. And then high-level stuff. Like I said, a Cleric Mage, not too many Blade Barriers, because they've got, you know, Cones of Cold, for instance. Rodica here has just Mage spells, and again, try some different things out, like, hey, let's try Disintegrate. We'll see how it works, you know. Maybe it'll turn out awesome. And then good old BlueAnkylo, another similar list of spells. So anyway, that's what I decided to go with for now. We'll see how it works. It's an awful lot of work adding those all up. Just to go through some of the menus here, Scribe lets you, if there's a scroll that has a new spell on it, you can scribe it permanently into your spell book, and then you can memorize it into your day's casting. The display is just what spells are active currently. So Paladins always have protection from evil, but everyone else, you can put Bless, Prayer, or Cast Protection from Evil on them. I think if I use Displacement right, like the Cloak of Displacement, it would show up here. I think. So there's a couple things we can talk about real quickly in here. Game speed, I upped a little bit, so battles will go a little quicker. If it's too fast, I'll slow it down a little bit, but you need to be able to read the numbers in the dialogue, but battle can slow down. If you go too slow, it just drags on when you cast Fireball, basically. So icons. So all the characters have what I've set up for basic icon colors and stuff. If you're one of the 6 characters, you can give me some input on what you'd like changed. Within reason, there's not a whole lot of options necessarily. Like, let me just look at Shinga's here. So you could change your hat. There's a variety of different, well, hat versus hair, you know, like there's different types. So those are your options. There's not that many, obviously. And you can change what weapon you've got equipped. I was trying to find something like a hammer for him, I think. But, I mean, you can see it's kind of hard to tell what's what. So, you know, there you go. Those are all, I think there's 16 or something like that. I know I was aiming to give him a hammer, so we'll see if I can get back to, I think that was the hammer. Anyway, yeah, it's no big deal, but that's that. And then you can change colors for most parts of your body. There's a leg section, body, hair, arms, and weapon color. And there's like 16 color choices, and they're kind of split into 2, because like his pants are like blue 1 and black 2 kind of thing. So anyway, if you have some requests generally, it's difficult to make things look good, but I can take some advice. Like Rodika's kind of new, so if Rodika's character would like to change a couple things, you know, I might be able to mess around with some color schemes or hairstyles a tiny bit. You know, we'll see. Anyway, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to waste too much time here. So that's your icon. I meant to do this last episode, I forgot. There's a difficulty setting. For the most part, this just controls how many enemies show up in random enemy encounters. We'll start on veteran. If things get easy, we'll move it up, and you'll have larger encounters, more experience. If things are too difficult, we'll push it down a little bit. For the most part, we'll just play on veteran, though. And fix is like auto heal. Instead of having to rest, cast spells, fix just, if you're in camp, spends a little bit of time and tries to heal everybody. It's quite convenient. I think that's it. So if you've got search mode on and you move, it takes 10 minutes per move, which just helps you find hidden items. Or you could just press look. Is there no look in this one? Oh. There used to be a command. Oh yeah, there it is. Hiding. Every time you collect look, it adds 10 minutes as though you searched. So generally I would leave search off and just use look if I needed to. As with all these old games, sometimes you bump into walls to find secrets and stuff. We'll worry about that all as we get to dungeons. So let's get on with the quest. We're going to head back to the first area to go to the town hall, because there's some stuff to do in the town hall. Welcome. Hello, guards. And I believe we need an audience. Takes a few minutes, of course. Typical bureaucracy. You stand before a semicircular table, behind which are sitting the 7 council members. The youngest stands and greets you. Welcome again. Your kind did its work too well 10 years ago. The only mission we can offer is one to Thar. My forces still wait at Kuto's gate. Formalities continue. Then you are escorted out. So we actually met the person we're supposed to escort already, but that's the quest, is escort a council member to Thar. Real exciting. Welcome, I am the council clerk. Thanks to Sasha's success with the Silver Blades in Verdigris, I have plenty of gems, but no missions to give. If anything comes up, I'll let you know. So remember, I think there was like a well in one of the games where we like threw all the gems away, and then there's that one where, I think it was Secret of the Silver Blades, right? We came back to town after we defeated the Fiend Lord, or Dread Lord, whatever, you know, some sort of evil lord. And we came back and the vault was shut down, so we couldn't actually pull our gems or gold out of it. That's probably what happened. They just took them all. An old man looks up as you enter this library. His eyes twinkle with some secret mirth. Friends, you should leave this town soon. Great events are afoot. He walks past you and out the door. So he just left? So theoretically, this is the kind of place you might want to search. Doesn't seem to be anything in the library, but that's, you know, worth a shot. Okay, so we've got our quest, we've got our spells memorized. It's getting dark out. It's nice that they have day-night transitions finally. Not that a lot changes, but at least the now that it's... Well, the clock is like, it's weird. Like, normally in 24-hour time, this is just 2 in the afternoon, right? But I think in this world, it's 2 in the AM. Or, like, it must be. Why would it be dark at 2 in the afternoon? Unless something weird is happening. Maybe the old man in the library knows something. Before we go out, let me just real quick equip. I like the looks of everyone when they've got all their armor equipped. You know, the armor class looks a little bit better. Just in case we get surprise attacked, it's better to have your shield ready. Alright, let's keep going. I don't expect any trouble, though. Alright, so I believe it was this gate here. Yeah, let's get going. Council member. I think she was one of the council members from the first game, too, if you recognize her. I don't know. It's been 10 years. How could I know? A coin flip can change the fate of the world. I guess we made a coin flip to start this quest. I know it's customary to pay in advance for this sort of service, so here. What are you giving me? 200 experience. Woo! And, some cleric scrolls. Alright, well, for now, I'm gonna let Fella hold on to scrolls, because he's the only, like, pure cleric. Like, everyone else has magery spells. Inventory management can become a bit of a trouble later on, but for now, we'll just pick those up. We'll have to, identify them to figure out... Actually, no, I think clerics can just open them and read them, actually. It's the mage ones they have to identify, I think. The guards open the gate, and Sasha leads the way, hardly looking in your direction. You travel past Kuto's Well and through the thriving Podal Plaza. Finally, you surmount a small hill and look back upon the quiet city. In the background, a thunderstorm builds over the Moon Sea. It's probably nothing. Suddenly, the storm expands and blankets the sky from horizon to horizon. Laughter nearly deafens you. Echoing off the distant mountains, a deep voice intones, "I am Bane. I claim this land for my own." A spectral hand descends from the clouds and covers Phlan. When it rises, only a huge crater is left. Winds whistle in to fill the vacuum, knocking you to your knees. The Moon Sea forms a huge waterfall. Bane speaks again. "This land is under the sovereignty of my 3 lieutenants, Callistes, Tenatal, and Gothamines. All forces who wish to live will place themselves under their orders. We have eclipsed the sun to allow darkness to reign supreme. Storms prevent entry into this region so that our enemies are without aid. When we have gathered and prepared, we shall sweep through the realms." With a final laugh of triumph, ha! Bane's voice fades, only to be replaced by the howl of wind and the clap of thunder. Violent waves crash against the crater's edge as the Moon Sea rushes in. Suddenly, a gateway appears before you. A powerful suction draws you forward, hurling you through the glowing portal. Hold on, folks. Here we go. You are overcome with a feeling of lightness. Luminous color and shadowy shapes rush by as you tumble over head over heels. You slow, then stop. Weight returns to your bodies as you enter a bizarre landscape. Objects float in all orientations and fade in and out of focus. An old bearded man in robes moves laboriously towards you. His sandaled feet land sometimes on solid matter, sometimes on nothing. "Greetings and well met. I am Elminster, Sage of Shadowdale. All of ye must forgive my rude summoning, but, as ye may gather, these are rude and evil days." He continues. Of course, it's in a journal entry. Well, this is good. I get to show this off. So, I said last episode, let's get some music going again. I said last episode I'd fix this for you guys. Journal entry 1-5. And bazinga! Perfect. Look at that. It fits right on there. So, Elminster's explanation. Ye I have chosen as the mightiest heroes of these regions to lend me aid against the Black Lord Bane. I was fortunate to learn of Bane's plotting by way of my art. This time he means to do more than his usual meddling. He seeks total domination over the very dirt of the realm. He has plotted well, and darkness now reigns over Moonsea and the plains of Thar. This is great evil, forsooth! But I fear that if he is not stopped here, he will spread across the land as forcefully as the tide rises over the shore. We are now in the plane of Limbo, astral source of the absolute chaos. And so too is Bane. I followed him here with aims of his undoing, but well is he hidden in the shifting madness. Somewhere he has made a crossroad between the dimensions for the use of his allies. This too I can do for ye. The way between pools lies now through Limbo. When you enter the pools, I will use my power to enable thy passage. But know that only my presence here makes this possible. If I were to leave this place, or perish, the path would be closed, and Bane would rule here, as well as over the Moonsea. Such is my limit, but I will aid ye as I can. I now send ye back to the darkened plains. Find the servants of Bane, for they are his hands. Destroy them, but beware, for they are great powers. Help those who ye may. Allies can but further us. Go now, and may thy skill prevail. Awesome intro. That was cool. All right. Thanks, Elminster. Elminster invokes a spell that hurls you back through the portal. Sasha is not here, and you are not in Phlan anymore. Welcome to the world map. Now, our side map here does spoil a tiny little bit about the area, and it can tell you some areas to go to. Sorry if you're worried about minor spoilers, but it's not a huge problem, I don't think. Most of these are areas that we should sort of recognize anyway, and, you'd explore it eventually on your own. So anyway, we can move around, and you can see the little square, or circle, I guess. Well, square on the map, circle on the game. We can't do anything in Holberg, and then there's lots of craters that apparently don't have much. Oh, good! I was figuring something like this would probably happen if I just randomly explored for a second. A group of undead. Well, let's see how difficult this is. Alright, so it's a field map. I really like now that this is an upgrade to Goldbox Companion. The map shows you where the enemies are, so you know what direction to look, and it saves you so much time trying to find enemies, although I still missed them or something. But still, it gives you an idea where to look. Because a lot of times you start on these maps... I mean, I didn't even come close. But a lot of times you... Oh, no. See, I did it backwards. We are green, the enemy is red. But, like, our characters are facing to the left, so I would normally... That's actually good. Normally, I would expect that I should be looking this direction for enemies. But actually, we're looking this way. And that's where all the skeletons are. Oh, these guys... level 5 skeleton... Or, like, level 1 skeletons. Okay. So, yeah, that's gonna be it's not even worth. In fact, we could probably turn. Didn't quite kill them all. That's fine. Just guard. How about Fella? Can you turn? I think there must be a range on your turn. Like, they must have been too far away to be successfully turned. Yeah, that's all that was. Now, Paladins should be able to turn as well, I think. Let's try getting a little closer. Maybe not. Oh, right. Shinga's the Paladin. Look at me, forgetting. Yeah. He turns at a lower level than the Clerics. Like, it'll work on the Skeletons, it probably wouldn't work on a Lich. Didn't actually work. Maybe it wasn't close enough, I don't know. Either that or this is some sort of special super duper skeleton. Alright, let's try this one more time. Turn. There you go. I don't know if there's a limit to the range or something like that, but anyway. Kind of a joke fight, nothing to worry about. Okay, so can I also use the mouse maybe to get around here? Oh yeah, totally. Although it's only left, right, like it doesn't walk all the way there. Do we really have to fight this every time? Is it just going to be skeletons? Oh no, this is not skeletons. So we're on the bottom right this time. Well, it's giant skeletons and specters. They look like they're a little bit stronger. What I'm going to do is delay everyone, let the enemies come a little bit closer. So delay just skips your current turn until the end. Sorry, the dubstep always interrupts my dialogue too much. So if we delayed like that, we'll just delay everyone. We'll let all the enemies move closer, and then I'll see if turn works. Oh, that was actually dangerous because apparently these guys have so much movement range they can just attack you, or they can get all the way here. All right, let's do this. Turning. So they're not. Some of them were destroyed. Some of them were turned, as in forced to run away, I believe. Yeah. So the specters maybe are high enough level to resist the permanent destruction. So it might be better off to kill them if you want experience. But, you know, while we're fighting really weak enemies, I figure that's fine. Okay, so judging by the map, maybe we should aim for the Temple of Tyr first before we go to farmhouses or hill giant caves. So far, these were just craters, but you come upon an army camped near the crater where the city of Melvant once stood. A group of horsemen approach. Hello, travelers. My name is Priam, commander of this ragtag army. Follow me. Without waiting for a response, he rides towards a temple, poised on the edge of the crater. This is Melvant's Temple of Tyr. There you go, Shinga. Within it is the armory used by the clerics in times of need. Those same clerics all disappeared when the city was ripped away. But the armory is still there, and my army needs it. But dark forces inhabit the temple now. You look like hearty adventurers. Will you aid us in retaking the temple and gaining access to the armory? Well, what do you guys think? I mean, of course, we're going to help this guy out. He may not be a paladin, but Shinga needs to clear the Temple of Tyr, no doubt about it. I will bring a group of warriors to assist us. Together, we shall be unstoppable. And this is why I don't think my characters are that overpowered. Have a look at Priam, an NPC that joins up automatically. You probably can't even really miss him. And his stats, I mean, we'll look at his equipment in just a second. But, like, compared to Shinga, he's almost just as strong, right? Like, pretty interesting. So let's have a quick look at Mr. Priam. Well, he doesn't have quite as good strength. He doesn't have the girdle of giant strength or whatever. He's got perfect con, intelligence and wisdom don't matter for fighters. His dexterity is a little bit lower. So he'd get a little bit better armor class with higher dexterity, but otherwise he's pretty maxed out. Now, he might not have very good gear. Interesting that he has a helmet. Probably doesn't do anything. No, it's interesting. Helmets rarely provide bonus, but that helmet gives him 2 armor class. That's cool. We can figure out the bonus on his longsword as well. It's a +3 longsword. That's pretty good. And his shield is, they provide 1 armor class by default. So this is also a +3 shield. And plate mail is, I think it's, well, it sets your base to 3 instead of 10. So it's like -7. And then anything extra. So 2 minus 7 would be -5, and then it's got a 3 bonus. So it's a plate mail +3, I believe. So, you know, it's kind of cool, right? Anyway, just proving that, like, the amount of HP this guy has at level 18 is just a little bit less than Shinga's at level 18. And Shinga has 19 Constitution, which gave him a bunch of extra HP earlier on. So, I figure that sort of explains why I don't think I'm cheating by having 150 HP on Shinga. The game gives us fighters with nearly that much. And the heroes are supposed to be better than NPCs. Okay, anyway, let's get started here. So, we got ourselves an armory. Community meeting room, even. I generally like to fully explore the area. Both the map looks nicer, and you're more likely to find weird stuff. Technically, if you want to be super thorough, you have to search every square. We'll worry about that later on if I miss something. I have a feeling community meeting rooms probably don't have much in them. As you enter the room, someone sprints upstairs. Look for traps, ignore them, or chase them. What do you think? Chase! I figured this is more fun. Resume the chase! Don't get lost. You surprise an undead priest, and then combat starts immediately before I can finish reading it. Sorry. So, looks like we've got some red plume warriors on our side. That's cool. And Priam has a nice custom sprite. One of the things I really like about the Kryn series is a lot of the you can choose like unique sprites rather than just trying to patch together some colors like we've been doing. Okay, so what are we fighting here? Just swordsmen? Okay, the clerics and the mages are the problems. So we can sort of ignore the swordsmen as long as we can deal damage to these quickly before they start casting magic. This would be a good time for a fireball if we can be quick enough. I know, fireball is my go-to. It's always a good thing if you can get it out quick enough. So there is some casting time sometimes. There's a bit of a delay between choosing it and casting it, but we got it quick enough. So if I press the 5 on the numpad here, it centers it. And if we're indoors, the fireball will hit all squares except the 3 in the corner. So this will hit everything you can see except the cleric in the bottom right, Bella, and Shinga, for instance. It might be more important to hit that undead, though. I don't know. The clerics are probably, well, I don't know which more important. We'll try to make sure we hit them all, basically. This won't hit the undead cleric. Oh well, it'll be pretty good. So even if it doesn't kill them, the point is they've been interrupted, so they're not going to be casting magic everyone that takes damage. Alright, so we've now done at least damage this round here, here, there. So we're only missing that cleric. And Shinga potentially could just turn him. I don't think we're going to need to use buff spells here on this fight. Let's just start wiping people out quick. I'm worried about the enemy caster, so what I'm going to do here real quick is fire off a magic missile and just prevent anything from happening here. Not much damage, but that's fine. So it's nice that we have got control of Priam. Let's move him over. Actually, up here is pretty good if I can get there. He gets 2 attacks. Oh, we can control everyone. That's fun. Alright, Rodica. We can move up. And here. You just can't break adjacency or else they get a attack of opportunity. But this lets us attack the cleric. This guy's gonna have to delay his turn, although we could switch him to the short bow, but I'd rather get him a melee attack. This one can move here. Miss. If we don't get adjacent, we can sort of skirt around the outside. Let me think here. We could also pull off a pretty good lightning bolt. Not like, I don't think we'll need it though at this point. Let me just, for myself, let's switch over to ranged. That's my usual go-to here. Instead of using magic, I'll try to just finish this guy off with a rock. And I miss. Typical. Alright. Just go down here so we can attack the cleric again. Oh, wow, that's fine. Alright. Rodica... Didn't you just get a turn? I wonder if we... Oh, we surprised them. So we got the entire first round. Oh, I did this kind of weird. Right. The first round, we got a free turn. So I didn't actually need to interrupt them last turn. I need to interrupt them this turn. Alright, so let's... Well, Shinga doesn't have a lot of interrupting magic type stuff. But, if we can just move up, that interrupts that cleric. Alright, so maybe Christiana... We should try to stop these ones from casting this round, now that it's a new round. So let's go cast... I mean, we got lots of fireballs. I don't want to, like, overdo it, but... Let's start off with a bang. Christiana, your turn to blow everything up. That should be pretty much perfect. Fireball is just almost always the best choice. Which is fun, but it does get overused a bit, I feel. Right? Double attack. And that was a back attack, so there was some bonus chance to hit there, technically. Alright, and I will throw another rock. Try not to miss this time. Excellent. Priam is still adjacent to one, so we have to kill it first. Bella is not, so he can move up here, start killing these guys. I mean, we pretty much got it now, no big deal. With the additional Red Plume Warriors, we got a lot of characters helping us out here. Oops, no. And it's nice because we have control over them as well, actually. Because sometimes the AI does really dumb stuff on their own. Alright! That's our first, like, real fight. Lots of XP. That's the kind of experience you expect in a Pools of Darkness 4th game in the series. Okay, so there's a lot of loot to look at. Now, I'm going to try out Detect Magic. We're going to have Shinga cast it for now. It should put a star by anything that's magical. Now, it doesn't tell you how good it is. Like, it could be... These could be Bracers of Armor Class 6, which are not very good. This could be... Well, it's Magic Cloak, so it's probably worth picking up. But I don't know what these things will do until we've identified them. It's unlikely that these are very high-level enchantments. So what I'm going to do is just take, like, one of each of these. One Banded Shield Longsword. These are all the fighter's gear. It's probably not that great. We can test it out. I'll take, like, one Staff Sling and Flail. It's possible, like, the Undead Cleric had something unique. Probably was just the darts, honestly. So I figure I put just about one of everything for now. Depends on how much loot drops, but we'll never be able to carry it all home. We don't even have a shop yet to sell it at, so... Oh, good! So it did work. I wasn't sure about that. So this is actually really, really handy. This is potentially borderline cheat, or like overpowered cheating. So because of Goldbox Companion, and there's a setting here for auto ID, anything that we pick up that while we've got... Oh, sorry, I can't play this song either. Just too much lyrics throws me off my my dialogue. Anything that's got that's magical that you've got the detect magic on, it just auto identifies. Normally you wouldn't know. You'd have to like equip it and try to test it out. So this is like a little bit cheaty, but honestly, all this is really going to do in the long run is just like I'll just be dropping stuff that's useless, so we don't carry it around. +2 is nice, but it's not enough. Bracers of AC +4 is not enough. But we'll try the cloaks out, because that might help out a little bit. Alright, and I guess you could look at more, but I took the 2 cloaks. That's probably the only thing that's worth keeping. Cool. Done. No, we don't want the treasure. You find more valuables on the vampire's body. Oh. Bonus loot? Maybe you only get this if you chase them. So there's some money. So to get rid of the money, you just go to share, basically, is the easiest way. And then the items, well, we definitely want to have a look at that. I'm going to hold on to those for now. You want to be careful you don't give them to Priam, because oftentimes, I haven't tested it yet, but oftentimes any items that go to the NPCs, you can't recover. They're just stuck in their inventory forever. So maybe be careful with that. Oh, still too many lyrics, sorry. Alright, so we got Wand of Fireballs, Arrows +3, and a Potion of Invisibility. That's pretty acceptable. You know, good start, right? Alright, first encounter done. Look at this. The paper wrapping the arrows was a page from a book of religious rituals. This is recorded in Journal Entry 11. Alright, well we better look this up. We're getting all kinds of stuff here. Journal 11, right? Torn pages from a book of religious rituals. After praying, one must touch the essence of the air by inhaling the heady vapors of the rare incenses, taliesin. This allows contact with the first elemental plane, air. The plane of water is then contacted by drinking the waters consecrated to Tyr himself. Earth and fire come late in the tests of Torm and Ilmater, I think. The vessels of purity and spirit flame are guarded by eternal guardians. Take the items of earth and air to light the lamp of vigilance. The lamp will make a bright and good place in the world, even when all else is dark. Sounds like we got ourselves a quest. Cool. Let's go a little bit longer for today's episode, but I don't want them all to be over an hour long, so don't expect that to be a recurring theme here, basically. So, I just want to figure out sort of where we are a little bit better here. An unlit iron brazier. Search first. Looking out the windows, you see Priam's army fueling fires to hold back the false night. I think we should probably light it. Oh. Alright, well we don't know how. It's, magical brazier, probably. Maybe part of that quest, even. Same thing? Yeah. Alright. We might have to do that fire, water, ice quest. This is also a doorway, so I want to just check the other side before we go through it. The bell tower reaches high overhead and bell ropes hang loosely down. Should we look up there? Let's go up top. You climb to the bell platform above. In a corner of the bell tower, you find a small boy huddled as if in fright. He has been dead for some time. Aww. No. You can see the crater below, and you stop to wonder what happened to the thousands of souls who lived in Melvaunt. Priam grits his teeth and says, "They will pay for this." We just hang out up here all day? Alright, fine, we'll climb back down. Pull the ropes. The bells rock, but only a muted clank is heard. A wind sweeps down from the tower and forms into the misty outline of a ghostly woman. Oh. The bells match the silence of my heart. Ring them at your peril. Her form fades away. No. we can ring it later if we need to. I assume there's some sort of puzzle maybe involved. This office looks undisturbed. We can rest here. Maybe that means it's a good place to end the episode. Probably. I'd like to do like one more quick battle. What was once a stately library is now in utter chaos. I'm not gonna, well, I'll put it on search mode. You never know where there's gonna be a book or a scroll or something, but... Oh! Oh my! Some cleric scrolls! Bella, you're the cleric scroll holder for now. Alright, searching paid off. Look at this. It's like I know how to play these kind of games a little bit. Alright, we got more braziers. That was the staircase back down. So originally we came in this room and ran upstairs. Let's finish exploring this room. Public worship for Tyr. Oh, and the altar's been stained. And the temple's been plundered. I don't expect Shinga's terribly impressed. Just double check. Okay, this is a different area of the armory for sure. We'll save this one for next episode. That's clearly a different section of the map. And then this is the public worship area or whatever. A black hand is painted over Tyr's altar. It might be worth taking the paint off. You clear the stain and Tyr's symbol shines forth. You receive the blessing of Tyr. I mean, come on. You knew you had to do something there, right? I wonder what that means. Like, what is the blessing of Tyr gonna do for us? Oh, I can go to, oh, I forgot about those cloaks, too. Magic, display? Okay, I don't know what it's done. I don't know what that blessing did. It should have said bless here if you were under the effect of bless, but, oh well, no big deal. Oh well, maybe we got some experience, who knows. Alright, I want to, equip those cloaks. So, who would need +1 AC if it, well, yeah, it's probably not going to work. It's interfering with something else that's already giving us +1. I was talking about this on the last episode. Sometimes you can't, like, the bonuses don't stack. I'm just going to test on myself, but I bet you they won't do anything. Also, I have a, Cloak of Displacement, which is kind of like a Cloak of +2 anyway, probably. So that's kind of pointless. So maybe these cloaks aren't really going to do us much good. Especially if you already got a +2 type thing. Oh, I may have done the cloak. I don't think you should be able to equip both. It's not like it's doing anything anyway, so whatever. We can sell them or whatever, but unfortunately they're probably not going to help out much. Nothing back here to search? Alright. Alright. I'm reasonably happy with that searching done. Let's finish this area. I'm sure it's just one more brazier. Maybe something along here. Wrecked by thieves. The sumptuous quarters. Ooh. You find a red leather book that is the remnants of the High Priest of Tyr's journal. We should probably read this then. 65. Oops. It's hard to click here, sorry. Alright, turn it on. Page from the High Priest's journal. The times of woe are upon us. Darkness has overwhelmed the sun, and the catacombs below are overrun with shades. We have taken to going about the temple in groups of 3 or more. It is unsafe otherwise. Now, a vision of a long-dead legend haunts our belfry. She won't allow us to ring the bells to gather our flock. Many tried and have disappeared. Even our most stalwart priests have tried, but all to the same end. Tomorrow we leave to gather the common folk in the temple's vicinity and lead them to safety. I pray for our safe return as well. So maybe we should just defeat that ghost. I was thinking there might have been some secret to defeating her, but it looks like maybe we should just try to kill her. Let's do that, and then we can just rest and call that an episode. All right. It's in the knee corner, everyone. To the knee. All right. These bells will be stilled, the Banshee wails. The next time these bells toll, they toll for you. Sorry, it's a very R-rated game here. This is a very adult-looking Banshee. You were warned! To me, my pets! The gargoyle. I didn't know there was gargoyles in the room. She utters a soul-piercing shriek. There is death magic in the sound. Wait. Huh? Uh-huh. It's cool. I was ready for that. It's totally fine. Banshee Howl just kills most of the party. Yeah, I told you Pools of Darkness was supposed to be difficult. They don't have very many HP. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna be resurrecting people just yet. I'm gonna move up a little bit. We're gonna cast Lightning Bolt. It's gonna totally kill them all. I should have pre-buffed. I should have put Protection from Evil on, and then we might have saved and not died. I gotta get back my head in the game. I totally forgot that, like, you can do stuff like that. Alright, kill them all, please. Yes! Yes! It did not hit the Banshee. Cool. So the Banshee... You know what? There's another thing that I was going to do in this game every now and then, and the Banshee maybe is worth pulling this up. So, we've got an Adventurer's Journal. There's probably an entry for Banshees. Let's have a quick look. There you go, Banshee. These evil spirits keening wail strikes fear into the hearts of men. They attack with a chilling touch. They better not drain. They're not drain levels. That's gonna be so bad. Margoyles anywhere, maybe? Probably not. Margoyles aren't that scary. Alright. So, yeah, it's cool, y'all. It's cool. Christiana, you got this, right? You always wanted to beat up a Banshee. Just gonna go melee. Alright, good damage, good damage. Alright, so maybe it's immune to magic, or... well, it's immune to lightning, perhaps. Let's go with mace, because the blunt flail seemed to have worked. It's fine. I just can't have her scream again. I don't know if she can scream, but if she can, she has to die. Thank you, Shinga. You're regaining... You're returning the temple to Tyr, as is necessary. Alright, we should be fine now. With the Banshee dead. But yeah, that was a bad start there. Whew. Alright, done. And a little bit of experience, no treasure. Well, the bells ring only once and seem muffled in the dark. Well, it may not have done anything good for us, but at least there's one less Banshee in the world. Whew. Alright, well, the good news is Christiana and myself both know how to raise dead, I believe. So, for instance, I'll just do this manually once just to show you, but the problem is that would be permanently -1 constitution for like half our party. Just like that. Which is kind of insane. But, you know, we're gonna undo that. I'll do that off camera. Good thing we've got high-level clerics here. Let's get Erotica back up. Now, Chris, we raised Fella. He should have... Yeah, you don't lose your spells when you die, conveniently. Your memorized spells, which is something that you probably would have done in tabletop. The nasty dungeon master would be like, no, you're dead. You don't remember anything after you've been revived. So anyway, we got everyone back up pretty quick. Then you would like go through healing to get everyone maxed out, and then re-memorize the spells you cast, which luckily it auto-returns what you have cast. Like in the old games, it didn't store what you have cast, so you'd have to try to remember what spells you cast since you last rested. But this is much better than that. So maybe we'll do it manually just this once. In the future, we'll use we'll definitely be using the in-game fix command. But with the heal spell, it's not too hard to top everyone up pretty quick. So anyway, I mean, that's the main thing. And then if I went rest, that's how many hours to re-memorize our raise dead and our heals, basically. The other way to do it would be to just go fix. And, I mean, it's so much easier if you just go fix. But we still have spells missing, so we'll rest. And that should have returned all the spells that we cast thus far, which is pretty awesome, actually. That's so much better than trying to, like, manually remember each individual. Like, you know, if you did a really long dungeon and you cast half your spells, and then you went to memorize, well, how many blesses did I cast, and how many fireballs, and try to relearn them, like, it's just a pain. Anyway, that was our first trial, and, well, you know, it's a bit of a problem. Like I said, there's some constitution problems I'm going to deal with shortly, because if this is a recurring theme, we cannot just permanently lose one con every time that happens, because, like, that's just not fair. If they lost 1 max HP, as the game says, we'll leave that, that's fine. But, permanent con loss seems like too much of a penalty. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed. Wish me luck in the future, because, man, that was a rough opening battle.